Module 2. Groups as Systems. Groups as Structured Open Systems. Groups as Structured Open Systems is a perspective that views groups as dynamic and adaptable systems that interact with their environment. What is a theory? A theory is a map of reality that helps us navigate unfamiliar territory and make decisions. A good theory is practical and reliable. It should be able to accurately predict outcomes based on the information available and be applicable in a variety of situations. Overview of General Systems Theory. General systems theory is a theoretical framework that was developed by biologist Ludwig von Bertalanffy in the early 20th century. The theory is based on the idea that complex living organisms, such as animals and humans, can be understood as a system of interconnected parts that work together to maintain the overall function of the organism. According to general systems theory, a system is a set of elements that function as a whole through interdependent relationships. These elements can be anything from biological cells to social organizations, and they interact with each other in a way that affects the behavior of the system as a whole. For example, a group of people working together towards a common goal can be seen as a system, with each playing a unique role in achieving the group's objective. The small group as a system. The small group as a system is a concept that recognizes the complex interdependence between group members and their environment. It is based on the idea that a group is more than just the sum of its members and that the interactions between group members and their surroundings can have a significant impact on group dynamics and outcomes. Concepts vital to understanding systems. Systems theory provides a valuable framework for understanding groups and their interactions with their environment. To fully understand the small group as a system, it is important to grasp several key concepts. One of these concepts is inputs, which refers to the initial raw materials of a system. These inputs can take many forms, such as resources, people, and information, and they are essential for the functioning of the system. Another key concept is throughput processes, which are the influences on the system that result from the actual activities within the group as it goes about its business. Throughput processes can be both internal, such as communication patterns, and external, such as feedback from stakeholders. The outputs of a system, which are the tangible and intangible products or achievements of the group system emerging from throughput processes, are also important to understand the functioning of the group. In addition, it is important to recognize that systems do not exist in a vacuum but are embedded in multiple surroundings or contexts. This environment can have a significant impact on the functioning of the group system. The bona fide group perspective is a focus on the relationship between a group and its environment, which is a characteristic of real-life, naturally occurring groups. This perspective emphasizes that group members are influenced by their other groups and that groups coordinate with other groups within the same system. Groups also communicate within and throughout the larger environment to interpret goals. Research has shown that the interdependence of a group with its environment is a crucial factor in the success or failure of the group's efforts. For example, a study by Broom and Fulbright identified several factors that impact group efforts, including the group's relationship with its external environment. It is important to note that as virtual groups become more common, researchers are just now beginning to look at how these groups alter what we know about environmental impact. Characteristics of systems. Systems theory is an essential framework for understanding group dynamics. Systems can be described based on their characteristics, which influence how they function and interact with their environment. The following are characteristics of systems that are relevant to group functioning. A closed system has a limited flow of information between itself and its environment, while an open system has a free exchange of information with its environment. Openness tends to be more conducive to effective group decision-making, but managers maintain less control in an open system, and companies can be cut off from information that could help them improve. Boundary spanners help the group interact with its environment in two ways: by scouting information and coordinating activities, which extends the resources of the group, and by bringing up the borders to protect the group from outside influences, which increases cohesiveness and smooth functioning of the group. When elements of a system mutually influence each other, they are said to be interdependent. Members of the group rely on each other as they work toward one goal, and one element, idea, behavior, or person can change the functioning of the entire group. The return of system outputs as system inputs, which allows the system to monitor its movement toward goals and make necessary changes, is called feedback. Feedback can be tangible or intangible and should be clear and accurate. Because groups are complex, many factors combine to produce the outcome, which is called multiple causes. Multiple paths are the idea that system objectives can be reached in a variety of ways. A group is not the mere sum of its parts, which is the principle of synergy. Positive synergy, assembly effect, occurs when the group's output is superior to the individual member's abilities, while negative synergy, process loss, occurs when the group's output is less than the individual member's abilities.